Okay, so this is going to be the weekly reading for the sign of Leo. So anyone with prominent Leo placements in your birth chart, thank you so much for being here. We are going to cover the week starting Monday, July 24th, 2023. And today is the 23rd, so we just started Leo season. So if you're a Leo sun, happy birthday. Hope you have an awesome month. And of course, if you like the video, if you got any meaning or insight from today's reading, please click the little thumbs up button and like the video. And then also, if you're not subscribed to the channel. Love to have you there. All right, let's get into it. What is the weekly energy for the Leos? Leo. What is the personal energy for the week starting Monday, July 24th, 2023? All right. One more. Okay. See what the personal energy is for you guys. All right, so you have the Knight of Wands. So good. So this is you just sort of feeling really fiery in your element for sure. There is something that you are really excited about. It seems as though there's a lot of energy, a lot of activity, passion, some motivation and inspiration here. Maybe you're just excited that your birthday season is coming up and you are looking forward to some of the days throughout the next few weeks. You want to rush into something as well, though. It's a lot of cards just flying out. And you have the Page of... sorry, I'm getting distracted. You might be getting distracted this week. Okay, so to reel it back in, you have the Knights of Inspiration, a Knight of Wands, everything I said, and then the Page of Wands, which is sort of everything I said. Just because they're the Knight and the Page, like they're very close in energy, except that the Knight is actually doing something. The Knight is actually taking action, whereas the Page, it's like a new idea. Something that you're really excited about. You know, it's more in the mental, the energetic forms of oneself compared to the outside with the Knights. All the Knights in the deck take action. They're doing something. Usually the Pages, again, are more of the opportunities, of the ideas, of the things that are not like literal, right? If this is a literal thing or person, there may be someone, or you may be, because this is your personal energy, you may be an apprentice to someone. You may be learning or shadowing someone around things that you are really excited for, something that you are just starting. Okay, this is a new start. You are a student. You are a learner. You are, going to shadow and observe somebody else. You are going to mock their moves, something like that. It's a lot of vibrancy here, a lot of imagination, a lot of creativity. You may be working on your aesthetics, working on your look this month, or this week. You may be working on your surroundings as well. I see a lot of color. I mean, yes, this card is very colorful, but it's like real rich and vibrant and bold. So however that means, if you're changing your look, your hair, your wardrobe, you're redecorating in your home or your office, something like that. But you're just really excited to do these more creative, passionate, imaginative, I'm even getting abstract in a way. I'm also feeling that somebody is doing like photos or what is that? I don't know, like just getting dressed, right? Maybe you're doing that for your birthday, or you're planning out some outfits. Maybe you're having a party or something like that and you're planning things out. Does feel like that as well. A photo shoot. Why didn't I think of that? Photo shoot. But more abstract and bold. Anyway, I can go on and on. Okay, so what is in the environment for the Leos, please? What is in the environment for this week coming up? All right, so you have the 9 of Cups. So in your environment, there is something that you really, really want. And you may get it this week. Look at this color. I love this. It's like if you're watching from my perspective, I don't know how the camera is doing this justice right now, but it is really bold and really vibrant today. But in your environment, there's something that you really want, and it probably has to do with you and other people. I understand, because this is the Lovers. I understand that the common description of the Lovers is either a choice or a choice to make about love. And you're probably, yes, that's probably right. You have an option or a choice here to be involved with someone that you really like, that you really want to be with. But I think it's more than that. I think there's a sense of really being alive right now, even within this relationship. Like if this is another person, because I mean, I'm reading it that way because the Lovers is here. If this is another person, this person really feeds your soul, really feeds your spirit, and accepts you and allows you to show off and allows you to be grand and, you know, have presence and be bold and confident, right? Like they allow you to do that, and they probably admire it as well. I don't know. It's just like really good. I just love how these two cards feel together. I love how all these cards feel together. I want to be in it. I want to see all those colors all around me. But yeah, it's almost like you're feeling like you're floating in air, you know, like you're really vibing high. Whoever is in the environment this week is vibing really high. You may be doing some sort of like meditation work or breathing work or something like that that really elevates your energetic fields and elevates like the dimensions or something. I don't know if anybody does spiritual work like that, but you know, going from the 3D and trying to live in that 5D as much as possible, or sit into that 5D, which is the vibrating high. I think I've mentioned this in some videos where people actually work on how to do this, you know, and how to be at that stage, at that state at all times. It's a little euphoric as well. I'm feeling there's a wish coming true here, something that you've asked for that is coming through. And it is going to allow you to really shine, like whatever you have within you, to bring it out to the world and get some attention this week. Really beautiful energy. All right. So let's go into some details and see what's coming through. Trying to see and read this from a perspective of the mundane and the day-to-day. If you're looking for more in-depth, thorough readings, wait for my August readings. I'll be working on those. I'll start those this week, where I do go more into depth there. So subscribe to the channel so that way you don't miss them. What is coming through at the beginning of the week for the Leo, please? Beautiful. You have the Wheel. So you're making strides. You are leveling up. You are going the next chapter. You have the Hierophant. And the King of Swords. So The King of Swords is very honest, very true. There's a lot of truth coming through and clarity here with the King of Swords. It could be male or female. But it is really looking at who you are, right? Like being very self-aware. And I do feel it of the position that you hold in your environment or in your surroundings. So yes, being self-aware of like who you are just for yourself as an individual, but there's something that's coming through around your presence and how you impact others, based off of your philosophy on life, based off of your morality, the things that you live by, right? Like what you feel is right for you and not right for you somehow is coming to the forefront, and you are sharing this with larger groups of people. Like you are on stage, or people are listening, or you're in social circles where you're able to communicate and have dialogue around philosophies on life or something like that. Like you're telling people who you are, you're telling people where you're coming from, you're telling people why you are the way you are, and you are, again, with the Hierophant, like at its highest, it's like really elevating high, and vibing high. But vibing high and also like just being very clear and very true to who you are. What else in the middle of the week? Someone may come through at the beginning of the week and also influence this to happen or make this happen. Or you may be seeing others in this way as well, which is going to ask you to show up like that because someone else is, or something like that. Like you just find yourself in an environment where these topics are coming into play. At the heart of your reading, you have the Two of Swords, which is a conflict making a decision. And for some of you, this has to do with something of the past with the Six of Cups. Remember that Venus is in your sign retrograde until September or so this year. So the element of the past and visiting the past, or the past visiting you, is happening. And especially for the Leos or anyone with strong Leo placements. So something like that is going on here. You feel a little conflicted. You don't know what decision to make. It could be a past person, or it could be just an opportunity from the past that you want to revisit. If you have any Aquarius in your chart, you want to take a look at that reading, because the same concept came through for the Aquarius. And it's also your opposite sign. So it's on the other side of that spectrum. But you're looking at something with rose-colored glasses. It's like you can't see straight. Yes, in the beginning, you're coming off true and honest. But for some reason, in the middle of the week, it's like something happens from the past that comes through that ends up switching this clarity into a fantasy. I'm getting fantasy with this conflict here. So I don't know if you are being pushed and pulled between like something literal, something realistic, something of truth, with something that's very fanciful and dreamlike. You also have the Nine of Cups over here, which is sort of like that energy of the daydreaming. Nine of Cups with the Page of Cups, daydreaming and wishing and hoping. And it's like I am playing out the ideal scenario in my head, hoping that this happens. But at the same time, there's some reality that you are surrounded by as well that may be conflicting with this fantasy. Something to keep in mind there. By the end of the week, you are trying to find balance. You are trying to get all the things done. So it does seem the end of the week is a little bit more hectic as it relates to the people that you have to be around. All these people need something from you, or are sort of bombarding you with their shit. their problems, their situation, and it's just like, no, like, get away, like, I am focused on my own stuff here. And so you're trying to stay in this peace, zen, harmony place while people are coming through and just trying to mess with it and shake it up. I think you'd rather be fantasizing, to be honest. It's like, can't I just rest? Can't I just sleep? Can't I just manifest what I want? You know? But there's a big difference from the beginning of the week until the end of the week here. The beginning of the week, like I said, it's something about your morals, your moral compass, like who you are, the right from wrong, what I want, what I need. I'm trying to feel it out. Let's see. What is the Hierophant? What is the Hierophant, please? So you have the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Knight of Sword. You have a lot of knights coming through, a lot of people, sort of. I mean, a knight and a page, a knight and a page, a knight. And then obviously this king. And the only big cards you have are the Lovers, the Wheel, and the Hierophant. But anyway, so yeah, so this Hierophant could be someone else. I don't know, this Hierophant is trying to show some love, especially with the Lovers here. And for some reason, you might be coming back at them with some truth. Or maybe the philosophies that this Hierophant has is not something that you really relate to. Maybe they have a certain belief system that you just don't vibe with. And something happens where the both of you are sort of head to head about that. So you're trying to be very clear, and you can reverse the roles as needed, right? You may be the Hierophant, but somebody's trying to be very clear, like maybe putting somebody in their place, or I don't know. This Hierophant is just very, all of a sudden I'm getting this like, I know better, I know right, I know what's right. And yes, the Hierophant can be like that. More often than not, the Hierophant type of person knows what's right for them, and they usually don't project those right from wrongs onto anybody else. But depending on the type of person, it could happen, right? So you may feel that this person is coming at you, telling you right from wrong, and telling you, you know, what you should do, what you should not do. And you're just coming back at them and just be like, I'm doing what I know that I need to do for myself, right? Like, I know what's true for me. So there might be something like that. I don't think that this person is coming from a bad place. I don't think they have any awareness, even though they're a Hierophant and they should have total awareness. For some reason, I'm feeling that they don't. They don't have an awareness of how they're coming across because they feel like they're coming from a loving place. And you just may be a little cranky or irritable just at the pure fact that someone is trying to tell you otherwise, right? And come and be opposite of what you think is true for yourself. But whatever that conversation is, it is for the sake of elevating and ascending, or going to the next phase, going to the next chapter of something. If you are this apprentice and you are doing something new with this Hierophant, it could be like a teacher, like an old school teacher, mentor, something like that, that has old school ways of doing something. And, you know, you may have some experience and something to say about that. If it's not teacher student, it's that type of concept where this older, more experienced person is coming at you with their views, and you are perceiving them and, you know, sort of thinking them through, but realizing that those views do not really help you. Anyway, what's at the end of the week with all this commotion that's going on? Ten of Wands coming through again. This is a popular card this week. The Devil. Yeah, you just want to get out of the situation. It's almost as though by the end of the week, you're just like, get me out of here. Maybe it's a work thing, or you just have a lot of like little responsibilities or obligations that you have to do, and you want to break free from them. And let's just go into the middle of the week and get a generalized card for all of this energy where you feel conflicted. You can't really make a decision. You're looking at the past, but then there's also this element of fantasy. Jeez. You have the Empress, the Ten of Pentacles, and Death. Right away, I'm getting this feeling of somebody thinks that it is easier than it really is. So whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, especially with all this beautiful energy that I was feeling over here, and there's like a sense of you getting what you want. You may get what you want, but there's a level of maintaining it and putting work into having it the way you want it. There's a level of like something needs to change. You might need to come back to reality, and maybe this Hierophant is here to say that to you, because maybe you just in this fantasy, like maybe there's an idea, or there's like an example would be like a business plan, and you're like, oh, you thought of a business, right, idea that you want to do, and you're like, this would be so easy, right? Like whatever idea it is, you're thinking to yourself, it's super easy. I can, get it done, right? Go from point A to point B in no time, right? But this Hierophant is coming through and saying like, no, you can't, right? That's not realistic, right? You want to own a business. You want to be successful, whatever the end goal is here for you, right? The Hierophant is here to tell you there's some work that has to be done. And you're seeing this through rose-colored glasses. And you are, being a little fanciful. And you need to be more realistic, because work has to be put in order to really be successful at whatever it is that you're doing. And that's probably what the Hierophant is here to tell you. You're sort of pushing back and being like, watch me do it the way I want to do it. And then at the end of the week, like I said, there's just a lot of commotion here. And you just want to get out of a situation. Just watch it with if you come across with some low level toxic behavior, or other people may come across with low level toxic behavior. You just want to, sort of get away from that and not really react to that. All right, so let's get some advice for the Leos, please. What is the advice that they can take away with them, so that way they can navigate the situations that they come across this week, please? This is what is this? Sacred Geometry or Oracle. Okay. What is the advice for Leo? Transition. So this is the number 43, breaking down to a 7. Transition. I like those colors. They're very similar to your personal and environmental energy. Okay, the frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. I'm going to read it again. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. So this change happening here with the wheel, whatever it is that people are trying to help you with to see something differently, because you're trying to come back at them a certain way, like almost like you know better, but then they know better type of thing. I think that it has to do with change. And there is an element around this time of your life. There is something that's shifting. There's something that's sort of transitioning. You are transitioning into something else, right? Something new, maybe something elevated, as I was picking up on here with the environment. But it is a process, and it's not as easy as some people think it is. And I'm not saying that you think that it's easier than it is, but there may be some elements that you're not really seeing. And maybe you can be a little bit open to this Hierophant as they provide you with some of their guidance. You don't have to take it, but there is something around that, right? Around you picking up on the fact that you are changing. There's an evolution here happening. There's a transition happening, and you want to just flow with the process and allow, more than anything, allow it to happen. Yes, take the steps and do all of that. But if you are coming in too hard and too strong with, you know, just a little bit stubborn with your own ideas, and you're not seeing things, you know, like from the big picture, it may just prevent an easier transition. And you may create some resistance, right? So you want to just sort of be open to the change, be open to the shift here, if that makes sense. So if you find yourself resisting, if you find yourself this week where something is harder than it has to be, and you tell yourself, like, why does this have to be so hard? You know, like, just sort of step back and think of, are you putting too much of your own control into this thing? Or is there room for you to just let go and step back and allow the change to happen, or allow the thing to happen on its own, right? So something to think about. All right, Leo, so that is your reading for this week. Thank you so much for your time and energy. Look out for the other readings. Check out your moon and rising placements. Look out for the August readings. Those should be coming out soon. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those. And if you would be so kind, please press the little thumbs up and like this video if you got anything out of it. If you got this far, I would really appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll see you on the next one.